It's more about what Indiana's doing. But, I don't know their home record, but, they've played like this. We've played about 5 different pick and roll coverages against them. And usually it's transition. You have to try to score. There was a point when I thought we showed some resilience in the first half, where we cut the lead and, we were in a game at that point. And then at the beginning of the third, obviously it blew up. And they obviously shot the ball well tonight. But to the extent that, this game, it's a game you have to put behind you. There isn't time to look at it and analyze it, and you need to move forward, and you need to move forward immediately because, we play Chicago on Wednesday. And, to whatever extent what I'd like to take from the game, if there's something we could take, would be the fact that we were down the way we were early and we were able to kind of get back in the game. We were out of the game quickly thereafter, but whatever adversity you're going to face, that's what the playoffs are about. They're about dealing with adversity, playing through it, and giving yourself a chance.
With no Clint, Mo kind of played at the 5
Yeah.
tonight. That's a little bit what he did in college, but not how the team may have seen him coming in. Just how did you see him kind of performing at that level?
He was a bright spot tonight. I thought, when he came in the game, Bruno picked up early fouls, and he hasn't played the 5 during the course of the year. Like when he was in the G League, he was a wing as much as anything. But I think it speaks to his versatility. He's able to space the floor. I think he's at this point in his career, his life, he's given up, some weight, but he makes up for it with his activity and his length.
And just what did you see as far as some of the looks? And, a lot of, like you mentioned, they didn't go in, but were they moving the ball the way that you wanted them to?
It's hard. The style of the game was such. I mean, frankly, my focus was more on our defense. And the fact that we were trying to catch up to them on most possessions, particularly in the first half, whether it be transition situations. We didn't turn it over a lot, but when we did, they were dunks. There were a few possessions that we tried to focus on at halftime where we actually did defend through the clock. We just didn't. Obviously, it didn't happen enough. They put a lot of pressure on you in closeout situations. They're attacking the rim. And sometimes it's a good to great game for them, and that's a credit to them.
And as far as just, as you mentioned, on defense, finishing out some of those possessions, there'd be an initial stop, and then how do you kind of build up some more awareness so that you do finish those out, especially going into the postseason?
Like I said, this is not a game that, in my mind, is a teaching game. We are aware of certain things. But to the extent, I'm not saying that you don't always look at certain things and try to take things with you, but in a lot of respects, I think the way that they play, it's hard to simulate. And we missed a couple early. I thought we could have got to the line early, and you're spotting them 10, 12 points out of the gate, and then it becomes even more difficult. You have to keep scoring as well if you're not getting stops, and it's hard to get stops against them. I mean, obviously, you don't go into the game kind of acquiescing, but you know the way that the game's going to be, and I think there's an adjustment early that, you get hit, by that. Yeah, we said they were playing fast, but they're playing fast. And as I said, I think the important thing for us right now, I'd like to focus on Chicago. Obviously, you're disappointed when you end the season on a note like this, but the season isn't over. I think both can be true. Okay?